Ciao y'all, this is Deidre and Lowell at Italian Cowboy in Rockport, Fulton, Texas, and today's class is all about pesto. Pesto 101 is what we're calling it. What is it? What do you do with it? How to select it? We get asked a lot of questions about pesto in the store, so we thought it'd be fun to just take a few minutes to talk about it. So what is pesto? We get asked that a lot, and what it is it comes from pestare in Italian, so it means to crush, to pound, and usually, with a mortar and pestle. Pesto dates back to the Roman times when herbs and garlic would be crushed together, often with cheese, to make a paste. So when we're talking about pesto, you're talking about something that's created through that kind of technique. In the modern times, pesto originates in Genoa, in Laguri, which is, we'll pull out our handy dandy map of Italy, right up here along the coast, you can see, and it's right up here. And this is what we know is that green pesto you see. It's called pesto alla genovese, and it's typically made with basil, with pine nuts from Italy, that area of Italy, cheese, and extra virgin olive oil, typically olive oil from obviously that region. You would usually serve it with pasta, like a trophy pasta, and oftentimes with potato and green beans would be a traditional way to prepare that and to eat it. And it is delicious. But we wanted to talk a little bit more about the types of different kind of pestos that are out there. And so we plated up this lovely little plate of pesto, and you look at it and you're probably thinking, wow, what are all these blobs on this tray doing here? But we thought it would be good to just kind of visually represent the diversity of pesto.
Yeah, and these are just a few of the many versions of pesto.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's probably as many pestos as there are, Italian grandmothers. Everybody's going to make their own recipe their same way. You can see some of these are more oily, some of these are more stout. They're obviously totally different colors, but the reality is you can sort of crush up and use as a pasta sauce or as a spread almost any combination of ingredients. And so there's a lot of diversity. The same way that once upon a time, Americans thought there was one type of salsa. They now realize there's lots of different types of salsa. There are lots of different types of pesto,
which is a very good thing. We love salsa.
We do.
We do. And then here, so you see here first you have the green, the Genovese pesto, but here you have red pesto. And a lot of people, when you think of red and sauce, you think of the traditional kind of Italian tomato sauce. But in fact, a lot of times you'll see, particularly in South Italy and in Sicily, you'll see red pesto made with sun-dried tomatoes and often almonds down in down in Sicily. And this particular red pesto is from Laguri, and as you can see, just like the Genovese pesto, next to it, it's got this beautiful oil coming off of it. That's fantastic, extra virgin olive oil. It's delicious. It's really what helps coat a pasta and make it delicious. Here, there's a porcini mushroom pesto, which is great for crackers. Nice earthy umami. Here we've got a Ligurian walnut sauce, which is fantastic. It's a cheese-based sauce. Traditionally in Liguria, you would take and toss this with a ravioli filled with kale with greens.
Yeah. Or a flat sort of crocchetti. It looks like a little medallion.
Yeah. And then here we have this beautiful vibrant green, which is a pistachio pesto from Sicily. Delicious. I love it on bread. Actually crackers. And then here a much more dense artichoke pesto, and certainly we have many more pastas in the store, many more pastas, pestos in the store than we have represented here, and there are so many more pestos out there available than what's represented here. You could get olive pesto, sun-dried tomato pesto,
kale
pesto, sea fennel pesto, which is fantastic and lemony and delicious, great with seafood. But part of what we wanted to do was just kind of just talk a little bit about what's available, and just to give you ideas on alternative ways to dress pasta, as opposed to just your typical red sauce. And that in some areas of Italy, you'd find that pasta would be dressed with these things much more, these sauces, these pestos, much more frequently than you would a red sauce. So just to give you some fun ideas.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And a lot of these pestos are really good as you would typically use them as pasta sauces, but some of them are really good as spreads on bruschetta or on crackers. Obviously, our really dense artichoke lemon pesto is really good as a spread. But some of them, including the Italian ones, which you can tell are really oily, are fantastic for pasta dressing. And
Absolutely.
So that's what we're about to do. That ding was the pasta that we've been cooking. We've cooked it according to the Happy Pasta method. And if you have not seen the Happy Pasta class, we suggest you go back and look at the Happy Pasta class. But the short answer is lots of salt in the water, no oil. Never any oil. A little less important here with the pestos, because with a tomato-based sauce, the oil is gonna prevent the pesto from the sauce from sticking to the pasta. Here, since we have an oil-based sauce, it's a little less important, but still no oil. Mm-hmm. And so what we've got is about half a pound of penne that we have cooked to al dente. It's ready to go, and that we're gonna do is just take our jar of pesto. And this is my favorite way of cooking Italian, is not cooking Italian. While certainly we will show you on another class how to actually make the pesto, here we're just talking about really how to dress the pasta with the pesto appropriately. Mm-hmm. So I'm just giving it a little stir, and in goes a dollop or two of pesto. We'll try not to overdress it, so we'll just start with a couple of dollops.
Smells delicious. Yeah, maybe. All the way from over here, I can smell the basil. It just smells so fresh and yummy.
Yeah, and now what most people would do would be to simply stir it, and that would be not a good idea. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to take a little of the pasta cooking water, since we have a small amount of pasta. We've got a small little espresso cup of water. Deidre and I have a slight difference on how much we use here. I usually use a little more than she, but that was probably about a tablespoon of water. We're going to use just to thin out the pesto. It's going to help the pasta get totally coated in it, and we're just going to toss it, and then we're going to be done. And you would see, if you were lucky enough to, wow, that smells amazing.
It smells so good.
Smells
it just
so,
smells,
yeah.
Wow, it's amazing. What a really good quality pesto smells like.
Yeah.
It's delicious, and you can see there's big, whole pine nuts in it. It's really yummy, and I can see this being, that freshness would be so great with seafood.
Yep.
And that would be really wonderful.
And we've just got a nicely lightly dressed, we'll take a picture of this and show you in a little while, but you can sort of see nicely lightly dressed pasta. Mm-hmm. And the pasta cooking water just really helps. It's a nice starchy, salty water. Just sort of really helps bind everything together, thin out the pesto, and that was how you make pasta.
Yeah, and of course you can dress it to your liking. I probably like a little bit more pesto than that on my pasta.
You can put a little more.
You can put a little more.
Yeah.
But it's to your liking. Again, it's just to give you ideas on different ways to serve and eat pasta. And I think actually maybe some shrimp tossed with this.
Oh, that would be really good.
Fantastic. So just a fun serving idea. So and then this this. Oh yeah, that's perfect. And I think it also shows why we've talked about before, the pasta cooking water is so important to keep. It's just so handy for thinning sauces and that sort of thing. And we've got it paired today because, of course, we've got to have wine with our pasta.
We do.
We have it paired with a lovely Vermentino also from Laguri. So we are going to, I guess, enjoy our Genovese pesto pasta over there with some Vermentino. So.
Exactly. Nice sort of fruity wine. A little acidity, not of too much, helps cut through the oil, but also complements the garlic, which is sort of a hard thing to do. And we'll be doing a tasting on this in a moment.
Yeah.
And I think that's
a
Pesto
quick way
101.
to make pesto, right? That's 101.
Yeah.
And you know, you can get good quality ones pre-made. Because let's face it, on a weeknight, you know, you're not going to probably come home and pull out the mortar and pestle and say, let's make some.
Although it's a good tricep.
It is a good workout.
Yeah.
But pesto alla genovese, you know, already done. Dinner served. All right.
Chin chin.
Chin chin.
Make some easy pesto.
Let's go.
Oh yeah.